and welcome to Taking the Biz, the channel for A-level business students. And today this video is going to investigate the topic of operating profit margins. Now, the operating profit margin is a measurement of how efficiently managers are converting sales revenue into operating profit. It's a profitability ratio that allows us to see what percentage of every £1 sales revenue we achieve are we able to effectively convert into operating profit. The formula to calculate the operating profit margin is very simple. We simply take the operating profit figure from a business's income statement or statement of comprehensive income, divide that by the sales revenue achieved in the same year, we multiply it by 100, and that shows us what percentage of every £1 sales revenue managers have left over or have converted into operating profit. Now, it's a figure that managers will want to be as high as possible, and they'll also want to try and increase this figure over time to illustrate that they are more efficiently converting sales revenue into operating profit. So some different strategies they might use in order to try and increase this measurement of the business. The first two of those are the same strategies they would use to try and improve the gross profit margin of the business. And if the business can improve its gross profit margin, it may help it to also improve its operating profit margin. So if the business can increase its sales revenue relative to the cost of goods sold or the cost of sales, then this will also have a knock-on effect on the operating profit margin as well. If we can improve our gross profit figure, then depending on what's going on with our expenses, we may also improve our operating profit figure as well. Also, if we can reduce the cost of sales of this organisation or the cost of goods sold, if we can drive down manufacturing costs, if by changing components or suppliers or raw materials we are able to reduce our cost of sales, then this will mean that the business is making a greater gross profit figure, which will feed into also creating a greater operating profit margin figure as well. So both of those strategies to improve our gross profit margin may also help support our operating profit margin as well. But in addition, managers might also try and find ways to drive down the business's expenses. If managers can reduce the expenses of the organisation, then even if their gross profit margin figure is not improving, if they are spending less on expenses in the organisation, then their operating profit margin figure will improve. So the kind of strategies managers might try to focus on are looking at some of those main expenses of the organisation and trying to find ways of reduce them or eradicate them from the organisation. So they might focus in on marketing. Can they find ways of reducing the amount that's being spent on market research or promotions such as advertising or other promotional campaigns? And if managers can make efficiency savings, cost savings in those areas, then they should improve the operating profit margin of the business. Or instead, they might focus on the staffing of the organisation. Are there salaries inside the organisation that might be able to be removed? Are there staff that might be able to be replaced or made redundant? Are there staff that might be able to be traded for staff on a lower salary? So they might perform some kind of workplace appraisal and see whether the funds that each member of staff is earning through their salary is really justified. And if the business can make salary reductions to its workforce, then again this will lower the expenses of the organisation and boost the operating profits of the organisation and hopefully the operating profit margin as well. But we might also look at administrative costs in the organisation, the amount that the business is spending on running its administrative procedures. And if there's any wastage there, if there's any opportunities to reduce some of those administrative costs, if managers can identify those and implement expenses savings when it comes to administration, then this will improve our operating profits as well. And as long as revenue is being preserved, it will also improve our operating profit margin. So there's the topic of operating profit margins. Hopefully that supports you with your revision. We'll see you very soon. Keep on taking the biz.